What's happening, guys? So Nate back here. In today's video, we're talking about traffic beyond Facebook, how you can have a sustainable business without relying on the Facebook algorithm. You know that traffic is the lifeblood of your business, and then Facebook ads seem to always be getting expensive. Much harder nowadays than it was 2 years ago, without a doubt. Very, very possible to still crush it, make a lot of sales, but the super easy street is gone. Now you have to take, the longer drive and figure things out. Get repeatable customers, build a longer term business, and you can't just flip cash as easy as you could 2 or 3 years ago. I know I mentioned it in another video, but I wanted to do, this is like first announcement or whatever, first video of this, where I am going to be doing a new project and slowly do a case study of this, where I'm going to be building a new store and getting traffic from many, many sources other than Facebook. And I'm gonna show you how you can actually create a long-term business in the e-commerce space, in print on demand, without actually maybe 10% or 20% of Facebook ads, but the 80% will be other traffic sources. What I wanted to do is go through some competitive analysis. And this is just one example of what I'm thinking about when I'm starting this project, is how to get the traffic, right? How do you get the traffic if you're just starting a new store and you do not want to get that traffic from Facebook? How can you do that? So this is like a little bit of breakdown on, we're gonna go through some competitor sites, how you can do that. Yeah, you're just gonna listen to me talk, listen to me, my thoughts or whatever. We'll see how it goes. Let's see what you guys think about this. So on my computer, I pulled up one competitor, and I actually got a couple of them here. So in a print on demand space, there's a couple big guys. There's like Redbubble, which I have here. There is Spreadshirt. There's a bunch of tons of, there's like whatever, Teespring, there's T-Chip, Teasley, T-Lee, whatever, I don't know what it's called. So I got 3, Spreadshirt, Represent, Redbubble, pulled up on similar web. Now, there's other tools you can use like Alexa, Compete.com, Quantcast or whatever, but most of those have shut down the tool. You can't get the data as easily now. You gotta buy it or buy the tool access or whatever. So SimilarWeb does a pretty good job, give you some, decent stats without having to pay. So that's why I'm using this. But let's just go through here. Let's just analyze a little bit of what they're doing and how they're getting traffic. Now, if you know anything about this, Spreadshirt has a seller program you can sell on there. I don't think they have really good profit margins. Maybe you have $10 a shirt, maybe. I'm not sure actually. I know for sure on Redbubble, you're making like $2 a shirt, $3 a shirt. So nobody uses Redbubble for, like, designers use Redbubble. Sellers do not use Redbubble because there's no margin for sellers. You can't run traffic. However, Redbubble's business model is not to get sellers on their platform. It's to get designers on their platform, and they're doing the marketing. So it's a little bit different, but we're just doing a comparison here. If I'm building my new project, which I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, you might be able to guess just based on some examples what we're covering here, is if I'm building a new e-com store, right, how would I get traffic? And we're gonna look into these guys right now. So they got some really good seller rank. I know Spreadshirt does like 100+ million a year. I know that Redbubble does like 200+ million a year. Like, look at the seller or the country rank in the United States, 8 top 5,000 site right here on, and what about Represent? Represent is, nothing compared to those other two, but it's still really, really strong. Like, a big goal would be to create an e-com store, document it, make case studies for everybody, and actually get it into the top 50,000 site. I think that would be pretty impressive, which is very, very possible. I have the resources and I have the team to do that. It's just how open I want to be about that whole process. If it actually becomes something substantial, I don't want to just give away all the secrets and then like I got 100,000 competitors because I'm sharing everything. So if I start getting a lot of progress, I might have to close down my case study. We'll see. I don't know. Okay, so let's get back to this. We're analyzing Spreadshirt. So, like I said, Spreadshirt does have sellers on the platform, and some people will run Facebook ads to their platform for their t-shirts because they give maybe enough margin, not a ton of margin, but enough margin to make maybe some profit. Look at that, they're doing 5 million uniques or visits or whatever a month, which is very strong. Redbubble does something crazy like 20 million a month, which is just absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm impressed with Redbubble marketing. But how are they marketing? So like I said, let's scroll down so we can see where all the traffic comes from or whatever. But here's cool. So direct traffic is 24%. Once you get a brand, people are gonna start coming to your site directly. Referrals or whatever. But these are the two that is actually Really cool. So you can see 42% is from search traffic. That means search on Google traffic, not Facebook traffic. 19%, right? Okay, so we're gonna go down and actually analyze what this 19% actually means, because you would assume this is 19% from Facebook ads, but it's not. I'm gonna show you guys here. This is what surprised me when I first looked at this the other day, was that 19% is actually not Facebook ads at all. We can go down here. I'm gonna go to okay, so you can see search traffic. Only 3% of the search traffic is paid ad keywords, and the 96% is organic. So that means free traffic from Google, which is very awesome. 42% of all their traffic that's very impressive. They have a very, very strong SEO, and I think I did some Hrefs. Let's see if I can do this real quick for you. But their SEO game is very, very strong. Start a trial. I don't know if I can do this. I did it the other day. I'm not sure. Maybe I had to do a 7-day trial or whatever. Okay, I'm not sure. Anyways, I did a keyword breakdown or a backlink breakdown. They had like 20 million backlinks, which was insane. But Spreadshirt's been around for like 10 years, I think, maybe. Something around that. They're very strong, and they're relying on the search traffic for 40%. So they're not dealing with the Facebook algorithm. I mean, they're dealing with different issues. They're dealing with Google algorithm up and down in the search results. But you know what? The up and down in search results might be, you know, every 3 to 6 months. You might go up, you know, 5, 10 positions, go down 5, 10 positions. But you know, it's very, very hard. I mean, unless you're doing something super scammy with like buying backlinks or from websites or something, it's very hard to see a huge 50% drop in your traffic from search. It's possible, but if you're doing everything above the board, you know, it's much safer. Like on Facebook ads, if something happens with the algorithm, fourth quarter comes along, double the CPM overnight, that could happen every 3 months or whatever, or even algorithm change every couple of weeks or whatever. So different marketing strategies. This is what I'm thinking about, longer term game, building up a big e-com store and depending on a lot of search traffic. So this is kind of what I'm starting to think, like, hey, you know what? I already got the Facebook skills. I can jumpstart my store with Facebook ads. But the long-term gain is let's get 20, 30, even 40% to be search traffic if I can. That would be impressive. And that's kind of one of my goals, is to do that. So let's go down, because I wanted to show you this here, that 19% social, which I was very, very surprised about. What I was initially thought it was Facebook ads or Facebook traffic, but it's not. So let's go down to social. Look at this, 19% social, and 85% of that 19%, right, is YouTube. And only 6% is Facebook, only 6%. That means people are driving traffic from Facebook, whatever. So this here, right here, you're like, how are they getting traffic from YouTube? That makes no sense. Well, if you go and look at some of the pages that are links of Spreadshirt, you'll see that they're doing what's called an ambassador program. So they're setting up like pages for YouTubers that can create mini stores and like little collection pages of all their t-shirts and whatever of the YouTuber's brand on their platform. And I know Teespring does the same thing. This is a huge traffic source for them that's actually panning out 85% of it's probably like 15% or something of this 50% of overall traffic is from YouTube, which is actually pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. So you got 15% from YouTube and 40% from search traffic. We're at 65%. Majority of the traffic is not paid at all, and they're a $100 million company, which is very, very impressive. Very impressive. So I mean, they're doing well because margins, like, you're not having to deal with if you sell a product for $30 and your $10 is ad cost and $10 of margin, your only profit is the upsells and average order value and repeat customer, right? Well, with these guys, they have way more margin because most of they don't have that initial ad cost. I mean, they have some ad cost. You know, they're running branded keywords here, Spreadshirt, make my own shirt, whatever. So they're running branded keyword page, but nothing like significant traffic coming to the website from paid. So very, very interesting when you break this down. And they got some display advertising in Google and whatever, but very, very tiny, you know, whatever. So just the initial look at this, I'm like, yeah, here's all the competitors, whatever. Cafe Press, Redbubble. So let's go to TeePublic. Let's go look. Oh, that one's actually, TeePublic's pretty big, actually. Let me look at this. I wanna go look at TeePublic. So let's close this. I wanna look at Redbubble real quick. Let's look at they're a massive site. We know that. They're getting some serious traffic. Where is their, I don't care about the countries that much. Obviously, it all adds up, but Where is their traffic? Look at that, 51% from search. They're dominating the Google searches too. They have a lot of direct. It means people coming back, repeat business, which is awesome. And they're 10% social, so they're even less on Facebook ads. And that's because, like I said, maybe this is not Facebook ads, but let's look. So search, look at that. Oh, they're a little bit more paid. Baby Trump blue. Why would they bid on that? Which is interesting. So they are running a little bit more paid. Still, majority is organic, which is awesome. That's what I want to focus on. I want to have a site with like 100,000 designs or something. It's very possible. I'm gonna get a whole team of designers to start making stuff for my project. But I got to be smart about, like, I can't just start making random designs. If you're trying to do the search, you got to do the search for actually stuff it's buyer intent, keywords that are actually getting searched. So the whole strategy about SEO about that, if you want to tackle it from a head-on approach, you just don't make random designs. You don't make sea turtle designs unless people are searching for sea turtle on Google. It's completely different than the Facebook strategy where you build something based on passion. On search, you have build. If I'm going to design a site that gets primarily search traffic, it's got to be designs that are actually getting searched. So that's a whole difference. Here, look at that. 30% of that. Where was it? How much did they say? 10%. So 30% of this 10% is. Oh, it's right there. Oops. 30% of that 10% is YouTube, 20%, 2% is Facebook of their overall traffic. Yeah, 3% of, maybe 3 to 4% is YouTube. Now, I'm not sure if Redbubble does the same. They probably do very similar, where they let people create their collection page with their artist page or whatever. Because they're not paying out as much commissions for merch, right? They're paying like $2 to $3 a shirt or something. It's very little. You're seeing the impact versus Spreadshirt, where Spreadshirt gets all these YouTubers excited because they're gonna make like 10, 12 bucks. And on Redbubble, nobody gets excited because you're making $2, $3, right? You see the difference on that percentage basis of YouTube right there, 85%, because of better payouts. So very interesting when you look at the numbers like this, how it comes out and play. And then all the other, like who's running Facebook ad traffic to Redbubble? Probably nobody, but maybe their own page. Like they're big enough that their own page could be 20%, or their remarketing or whatever could be that 20%, which actually that's only 2% over us. So it's very, very small in the grand scheme of things, but you can see that search is primary in their strategy as well. So let's close these two. Let's quickly look at Represent. Now Represent, nowhere near as big as those two, but they're still pretty decent. They get a lot of traffic, but I wanna see where it's coming from. Look at that, do not care about search nearly as much. I mean, they're getting some search, but like, look at that. Now their strategy is completely opposite, not search Google. And I know their strategy. Their strategy 100% is get the influencers, get the Instagram guys, get the YouTube guys, even the Facebook guys, anybody with an audience, get a store and you earn that way. Now Represent, I don't know how much they make. Really don't know. Let's really quick, represent.com revenue. I normally do this and you get an estimate. Sometimes there's old articles, a couple years old, that tells you how much they've made. Revenue 1 to 5 million, but like never accurate. Sometimes 21 plus 1, like no. This website's never accurate either. I believe these guys are in the 20 million range. Don't quote me on that. I'm not actually positive, and they could be even higher than that. I'm just not sure. Yeah, so their strategy is all the influencers. Get influencers on their platform and let the influencers promote their site. You can see how that comes out. So 0 paid, they don't give a shit about paid. They get some search just because people are searching for the influencer's name and the merch, and then they're ranking for it on organic. They're ranking for all those search terms, which is smart. They should be doing some paid of this too. They have huge opportunities to grow from, like, if I was being a consultant, I could like break this down and like give advice or whatever to them. Here's the YouTuber, look at that, like a 75%, which I said is they're focusing on 100% influencers. That's their marketing strategy. They don't really care that much about search. They don't care about paid Facebook ads. They don't care about it. They're all about that influencers. Check out TeePublic. So TeePublic is actually pretty big, really big actually. I was not expecting TeePublic to be what it is. Look at that traffic. Oh my God, their traffic's just blown up. I want to see where this is coming. Wow, TeePublic has some. I like it. I love to see that. I love to see when you're surprised. Like I never like how much money do these guys make a year? Like to me, when I rank websites in my mind, like this could be completely unfair. Don't take this as personal. If you love TeePublic, if you're part of TeePublic, do not take this. I consider like TeePublic a tier C website. and I consider like Represent like a tier B. I consider like a Redbubble and Society6 and Teespring like a tier A in influence, not influence, but like in their ability to market themselves, if that's the best way to say it. I don't know, like how noticed are they in the marketplace compared to the competitors? Nobody, in my personal view, like really, you don't hear about TeePublic that much, like not a lot. But when you look at their volume, when you look at the rank and their country rank, they're actually doing extremely well. Look at that traffic, it's on an upward trend. And their search is just killing it. I'm very impressed just from this initial, look at that. They got the twitch.tv, so they're getting some influencers and stuff, but that's nothing. They're tiny paid, mostly organic, and they are, oh, they got Ninja merch. That might be one reason. The Ninja guy that from, that's only 1%, so not that much. I can't get more unless I pay. So you could see all the organic keywords that they rank for if you pay for it. YouTube, they got some YouTube, which is interesting. But yeah, this is really cool. Do we know how much these guys make? Did I just do this? I can't remember if I just did this. Revenue competitor, I don't trust any of this owl, or they're not that accurate. Yeah, it doesn't, normally I just look quickly and something, if it sticks out, then, like if I search, spread shirt, right? Revenue, it says 120 million. So it's like, it was announced on their website, facts and figures, exactly how much they make in 2017. That's why it shows up here. So like, that's whenever I get my estimates, I get stuff like that. So, but this, guys, this is my breakdown of like analyzing traffic beyond Facebook, thinking outside that bubble, making a longer term brand, building something that's sustainable, that's gonna be around for 15, 20 years, not just flipping cash. Like, yes, you wanna flip cash in the beginning, you wanna get your skills up, you wanna do all the things that allow you to get ahead and start, like get that jump start. That's what Facebook ads is good for. That's how you can do that. But the longer term game is that brand, right? And this, when they're doing the little breakdown of some competitors right here, this is like, gives me fire and gives me inspiration. Like, hey, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna build like a massive site, and not just do that, but like actually try to document it. It's gonna be one of a lifetime project. I'm not just a lifetime project, but like something that I'll have for the next 15 something plus years. It's something I could sell if I wanted to sell it. And I know that what did you call it? Movement watches, MVMT, just sold, right? So Movement Watches is a brand that just came out like a couple of years ago, and they killed it last year. They did like $70 million. They're selling an average of like 2,000 watches per day. They're doing like a lot, but they just sold for 100 million. Actually, let me rephrase that. The offer was 100 million in cash and another 100 million in a bonus payout over the next couple of years. And the founders, I think, are staying on as like advisory and whatever from the new owners. And I think it was a big investment group that bought them. But this Movodo, whatever, you guys know I can't pronounce stuff. So this investment group bought Movement Watches. If everything goes to plan, right, they could potentially have a 200 million buyout, and then after tax, it's probably like 150 million or something, 160 million after tax. Now tax on buyouts is only 15%. So, or company sales are only 15%. So there are 85 million after post-tax on that first 100, and a potential another 85 million if everything goes well post-tax. What is that? 160, 170 million or something. Very, very impressive for a company that's not that old, making that cash. And if I could do something like that, that's something I would be interested in. Now I have a longer term project goal in my mind that kind of goes along with the same thing, and it's just thinking big, thinking for the next future. Like, I'm 32, if I'm thinking for 40 plus, like if I spend the next 8 years building this project, the one I've just announced, right, and I get that to $100 million in revenue in the next 8 years, which is amazing, and I think I could do that, then I either have the option I could sell that if I actually do it for a multiple, 2x multiple, 3x multiple or something. I could keep the company and start acquiring other companies and start my own e-com investment group. So having an e-com or an investment group that's focused on buying businesses, that's how you're gonna get that $1 billion mark. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, you know what, if I have the inspiration, I have the goal of becoming a billionaire one day, how do you actually logically break down that process into something that's edible, something that you can actually physically see in your mind? And when you can see it and you can like see the steps on how to do it, that's when it's gonna happen. So this is kind of like what my goals are, is like, let's start this new store. Let's start this bigger project, spend the next 5 to 8 years building it. Let's get this to at least 50 million in revenue per year, which you guys are like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. I mean, once you reach a certain skill level and you're confident in it, there's nothing that's stopping you passing 10 million. I know I can hit 10 million a year without a doubt. I hit 4 million in my first 2 years, and that wasn't my first store. Then with this app, I'm already getting close to 10 million. Not quite there yet, but I'm getting pretty close to 10 million. So like my mind is expanding right now, and I'm like, well, 10 million is nothing now. So what do I want to do next? My next project, let's build something for 100 million. And if we don't get it, we get to 50 million, I'm still happy. And then either we're gonna sell that in 5 to 10 years, or I use it as a stepping stone, and we build out an investment group, and we hit that $1 billion mark by acquiring a bunch of smaller e-com companies. We build that portfolio. So this is my goals. We kind of transferred into, let's analyze competition, to let's set these goals. But it's cool, guys. I know you guys like my thoughts on this kind of stuff, and I know you appreciate my honesty and how I think. So if you like more stuff like this, hit that like button, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments down below. And you guys, I'll see you on the next video.